have to drill a wall if they're gonna have any water to go along with their whiskey.
Exactly.
Got that small enough print this time. Teach him how to use a bigger cursor, will you? So I don't have to curse.
Right there.
Mine's usually in 14 point. Did she step it down for this? Are you saying it's too small?
That looks pretty big to me.
It's
I
regular,
think this is fantastic.
huh?
I think this is
Well,
fantastic.
it's regular size,
Please,
but,
everybody.
but we're used to.
Oh no, I sent it to them at about 14 points, so,
So this is better for old people.
yeah.
So the November minutes have shrunk down because they're a long time ago.
Had too many of, too much of it, huh? We're not ready yet. We got East Main and Sherman. There's fucking bills every month on that project. That's gonna be a spandy-ass project before we're done.
Yeah, we're paying lots to Foth Engineering.
Huh?
Our engineers make the money.
Turn it on.
It's on. It's on.
Your light ain't on. Okay, we'll call our Municipal Utility Board meeting to order here. Consider the consent calendar.
I'll move to approve the agenda.
I'll
Yeah.
second.
Okay, minutes
I guess
from the last 2 months.
I'll move to approve the November and the December minutes.
Okay,
And I will second.
okay, all in favor of approved.
Aye.
Claims,
I'll move to approve the claims.
I'll second.
okay, approved.
Aye.
Aye.
Faye's not here. Customer concerns, anybody got any bitches? Any concerns? I'm sorry, I'm on here, ain't I? Everybody's happy. Todd, water superintendent.
Yes, sir.
No complaints.
No, sir. Well, just to let you know what we've been doing, I don't have a lot to report, but we have been reviewing a lot of submittals, varying degrees of completion, just to go through, a lot of going through some things with Rick. We've got Phase 2 of Davenport, we've got the lake property, Whiskey Ridge. There's just several things that are kind of getting thrown at all of us. Excuse me. Letting you know, another thing, I've spoken with Rick. It's been a while, but there's more of them coming. Our large meters that are 1.5 inches and up, they're hitting their 10-year lifespan. You're likely to see in the very near future some larger bills on the drop-in portions to make those meters work. They are very important meters when you get that size because they do read a lot of water. They're that size for a reason. One of them that we have already replaced was a 2 million gallon a month meter. So, I mean, it's already basically paid for itself. So don't be surprised in the future when you see that. Tomorrow is shut-off day. That, in light of the storm and the gracious terms of the city last month, we'll see what this month turns into. The list, I did take a peek at the preliminary list, and there's a fair amount on there, but we'll see if it whittles down. And It may take us, if it's a very large amount, it may take us more than a day or so to accomplish that task.
He wasn't going to do that. But that last month,
No.
because of the storms and we didn't get everything out.
Yes.
But now we're back on schedule.
Now we're back on schedule.
Okay.
And it's, yes. Through the process of the cold snap and the storm, I believe I touched on it last month as well, but I would reiterate that we did some extra readings on Route 30. And this month when we read the touch pads, the walking routes, we put in a lot of extra effort to notify people that had high usage to, in case they had something that froze and broke and had a leak. We do need to refine our process on that. This is new. Some of the places we contacted twice. The first round there was so many that I divvied up our list between all of us that were present, and I didn't have a great system to know who went where, so we did contact some people twice, but we are refining that. And some people were not happy to hear from us, but at the end of it, when they found out they did have a leak and could fix it and save money, they adjusted accordingly. Dave Gilbert, our meter reader, does an exceptional job at getting this ready. It was just overwhelming for him to do it alone this last month. So all of the operators and myself stepped in to make phone calls and knock on doors and whatnot. But I wanted to give him a thumbs up for what he does. Other than that, we're just trying to keep going.
What percentage about do you still have to go read?
We're down to 10%, roughly. And when that large order that I requested a couple months ago gets in, we should be able to knock that in half, as long as our other smart points aren't aging out, and I need to replace existing ones with the ones I just ordered. But we're right around 400 in the walking routes, 400 meters to read, and we're reading 3,200 or so. Obviously it's a little more than 10%, but for easy math, 10%. So we'll cut that in half when that order comes. And part of the process that Dave does when we do have smart points to put on, he doesn't just knock out one side of a route. The way the walking routes are, there's dead spots, so he starts eliminating dead spots. That's why we still have 5 routes, but he's made it so it's far more efficient. Instead of parking and walking and then having to walk an extra 4 blocks for 1 meter or going back and driving to one, he knocks 2 or 3 of them out so that you just make a quick route and drive to the next one. So.
Is that what you mean by dead spots where he has to park and go walking?
Yeah, where they're in the past they've already put a smart point on so you don't actually read it.
Yeah.
Say you went down Junction and you started over here at the auction place, Bertolotto's, yes, on this side of the road. He would walk up and there'd be 2 or 3 to read. You'd read 1 block, then you skip 2 blocks, then you have one in the middle of the next block, and then you've got 4 blocks in a row, then you swap sides of the road, and it would be kind of scattered out. So he's shrinking the routes so that they make sense to
Less
walk.
walking.
Yes,
Okay.
yep, less wasted walking.
Yeah, all right.
Yep.
Good.
Good.
Any other questions? No? Okay, thank you.
Good job, thank you.
Thanks, Todd.
Public Works, nothing, okay.
Not that easy, Ken, not that easy. So just a little bit of an update. I heard you guys mentioning the East Main, East Sherman project. So we are at 95% plans on that. Keep in mind that is the second largest project ever in the city's history. I know you were talking about, geez, it seems like we're always paying bills. The only other project that we have that's larger than that was our wastewater treatment facility. So, you know, generally when you look at that, that's why we're seeing a lot of bills. It's a very large, complex project when we're talking that many blocks of total rebuild, which we're talking streets, curb and gutter, sidewalk, water, stormwater, sewer. There's a lot that goes into it. So that is where we're at. We're at about 95% plans on that. We're doing a 95% review here in the next couple of weeks, and then we anticipate finalizing those plans. And it's looking like that project will probably, I think the infrastructure committee has decided to delay that till 2024 for a construction startup. So it'll go to bid probably late 2023. Other than that, we have done a little bit more review on Garden Grove or Davenport or whatever you want to call it, the Phase 3. We met with those developers here, I don't know, 3 weeks ago, and went over a initial set of plans, and we expect to see some preliminary plans there, and then on to final. No big issues there. Everything should work accordingly. We really shouldn't have any issues with water or sewer there. One of the other things I guess that I'll note is since our last meeting, we did receive our SRF loan for the clean water, which is the wastewater. And we got a $10,339,000 loan at 2.125% interest for 30 years. That's in addition to the SRF loan that we received for water, which was back in September, which was $5,688,000. And we do currently, Ted Schultz is working on the plans. The first part of that water portion was for well number 8. We're working through the environmental review on it right now with the state, and we anticipate getting some plans put together, put that project out to bid, and hopefully be drilling a well sometime early to late spring on that, and that'll be the first piece. The more recent loan that we got was for the sanitary sewer, and that's for that extension that goes out north. So we'll be working on that as well.
Well, 8, that was on the south side?
Number 8 will be located, it's looking like we're gonna locate that on, what was the Richards property, the piece that the city purchased, so, what else do I have for you? I think that's really about it. You know, we are kind of in our slower part of the year because of winter, but we still have a lot of review, it seems like, going on. We're working on the Rod Bradley project where he bought the Glover property. We'll be seeing that go on. We've been working on the 12th and William Street apartment project. We actually have a meeting tomorrow with some potential developers up on the Big Rig Park. And as you know, we do have some agreements in place that when that was voluntary annexed in 2 years ago, for the city to provide water and sewer. So we'll be looking at that. That'll probably be something that we hadn't necessarily targeted or wasn't on our 5-year capital improvement project, but given that land is in the process of selling and we have that agreement in place, that will bump that up I guess, in priority, given we have that agreement. So probably next meeting we'll be bringing you back what the plans are for that, and see what we can put together. Other than that, that's about all I have, unless you guys have any questions for me.
Are they just hooking up that, the big building out there, the 3-story one? Are they just hooking up now? Because I seen this big one.
So what they're doing right now on the assisted living is they're doing the abandonments. Back years ago, when Leo Bestian owned that, he platted it out, and I don't recall if it was 4 or 5 lots. That they were going to build some single-family residence, and that was when Moose Drive was being built. They stubbed out the water and sewer, so as part of this project, they had to go in and abandon those service lines.
That's why they're digging now?
Right, yep. And they'll have one single line that hooks up to the assisted living.
And that's been hooked up. probably, right?
Yes, yep, that was hooked up early last summer, last spring,
Yeah.
yeah.
I figured that they had to have water, but I see they were digging up sidewalk.
Yeah,
and
no,
stuff.
they're doing the abandonments that they need to, and then they'll take out all of the, there's all those approaches, those driveway approaches, all that comes out, and, yep, just some cleanup work, and then they'll have, probably, I would guess this spring, the Dolan Creek portion of that will go on where they're doing some rebuilding there and some sidewalk on Dolan Creek and Ferguson and Hurley, all gets done.
We won't have any water to do on that Dolan Creek one, huh?
No, nope.
Okay.
Rick?
Just surface stuff.
How many blocks is that East Main, East Sherman project?
It's basically from from Nellie Street all the way up to the cemetery, and then the cross streets.
Okay.
So I don't. Let me get back with. I'll text you an actual number, but several blocks.
Okay.
Okay. Public hearings? None. Old business? None. New business? Whiskey Ridge.
So Whiskey Ridge LLC has submitted a request to the MUB, to the city, requesting to drill a domestic water well and operate a private water system located within the city limits. Of course, that's not allowed according to the MUB regulations. However, given the location, this is a property that is located up on the top of Sly Hill or to the north of the football field. You can see on the screen. There is no way, given the elevation and the topography, that we can service that property with either water or sewer. So it probably makes sense to allow that property, to make an exception, allow that property to be developed using a private well. The only caveat that when the city staff reviewed it, we want to make sure that prior to our approval, your approval is conditional on the developers seeking and getting water rights from the state. They have to apply for water rights through the state, which is a process, and that's included in the packet as well. They have submitted their application. There are some steps to go through yet before they get their water rights, so we want to make sure that that's in our motion, is listed as a condition, that we approve the drilling of the well, on approval of them getting the water rights. And then secondly, the only other thing is and I visited with them yesterday, given the delicate nature of Sly Hill Road, we had another failure on it that came up yesterday morning. We just want to make sure that we're in agreement, both the developers and the city, on the location of the well. And what I mean by that is we want to make sure that the well is located as far away from the road as possible, so that we can avoid any significant impacts to that road. We dumped in about 2.5 yards of flowable fill into it again yesterday. And Shannon's here, he's one of the developers, and either him or I would be happy to answer any questions you might have, but pretty straightforward project.
Well,
In the well location, like Rick and I were talking, nothing's been set in stone there at all. So we're very flexible on where that can be placed on the property.
But that's been kind of where you indicated. I mean, that's where somebody's, have you checked it out? Like, I mean, is that where the water is, or is there water all over up there?
Well, when we met with the well driller up there, he basically said, in his eyes, it didn't matter. He was very confident in hitting water.
Wherever.
Yeah, so it was more of a placement within our lot layout design, where we actually want a well house and things like that, so. But our other option is we can go straight north back into those other trees and place a well house in there too, so. Like I said, we have a lot of options on that property, it's almost 60 acres, so there's plenty of room to find a good safe spot for that well, so.
Okay. Questions?
I don't have any questions, other than just a comment. The further back from the edge of that cliff, you're gonna get more water.
And no matter where you go, it's probably pretty well all rock, huh? Or not?
There's it's spotty, of course.
Is it?
Yeah, but some of the draws, like even further south, our first location, which just got moved, pretty recently. I think that's a much better location for the well.
Where you have it marked?
Yeah, well, no, not where I have marked, it's gonna be further, just to the north of there, across that meadow and
Cross on the other side.
Oh, okay, across that meadow and in those trees.
our original location, and it got changed last minute.
Okay,
And then, then, of course, we had a discussion with Rick, so that'd definitely probably get changed based on that discussion, so.
okay. Do we need approval at this time or not?
Yeah, we should make a motion to approve them being able to drill the well, just contingent on the final location and then the water rights from the state. Other than that, we don't have
I'll
any
make
issues.
that motion, I guess, a motion to approve the drilling of a well on the Whiskey Ridge property. I guess subject to knowing where the final location is.
And do we have to state an approval? by the-
Yeah, it should be, I mean, the water rights with, I guess is inherent, but
Approval of the
they have to have water
with the
rights.
state of
Yep.
South Dakota.
Anything over 18 gallons per minute for domestic use requires water, no different than when we drill a well, we have to apply for water rights or transfer.
I'll second that.
Okay, all in favor, aye? Aye.
I see
Approved.
you're thinking you're gonna get 45 gallons per minute maybe, or
That's our goal.
that's the goal?
That's our goal, but if we don't meet that goal, then our other plan would be on-site storage
Okay.
per residence. We don't have a plan, just based on the number of lots, it wouldn't make a lot of sense, but
A big tank up there, yeah.
this time, but if we have to, we will, but the second, our plan B would just be have storage, a cistern at each home site.
Oh, okay.
And we'll review all that as it goes through the plat. I mean, some of that will get reviewed through the development process, through we'll need to see plans and they'll have to submit to DNR and no different than any of these other developments that we do. This one will just, instead of being hooked onto our system, will likely be a private. And my guess is that Eric and Daniel will write up some sort of a agreement on, when it's a private, the city's not gonna come up there and, they'll have to have their own certified operators, and if there's a repair to be made, they'll have to make it and be, responsible for their own billing or however they wanna do their water. I mean, it'd basically be a private system.
Just a question, there's not gonna be more than 25 residents, permanent residents up there, are there?
No, there will be between 7 and 9 right now.
Yeah, that's below the limit for requiring them to have.
So they
Public water system, yeah.
go by 3.5 people per lot, though. 9 lots times 3 people's 27. I mean, we're gonna be borderline, so
Okay.
we'll certainly look at it.
Okay.
Will that property have the other city services?
No.
No, none, okay. Okay.
Sure. Daniel said public safety, which would be fire, police.
Is that in the city limits or out?
It is in the city
It is in,
limits.
okay.
We have some really good road maintenance.
Pardon?
Yep.
That's road maintenance with the fingers crossed, right?
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Thanks, Shannon.
Other matters that may come before the board. Nobody has anything? Daniel, we're doing good? You don't have any input? Okay. Executive session, no need?
I believe so.
Okay, adjourn.
I move to adjourn.
I'll second.
We are adjourned
Aye.
till February something.
Yep.
Did you get all that, Deb?
Got it. Let's see.